to the Fee King Show. It's the Fee King Show. Happy Friday. Yay. It goes down every Friday, God willing. And I apologize for being late, but let me tell you something. This is like we're on stage and we have a sold out audience and the actor forgets their line and they're like, you know what? There is no take two. There is no, oh, stop, give me a second. It's let me ad lib. So we were having some technical issues in the background and that is okay. Why? Because now is better than perfect. This is the Fee King Show. I am your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King. The show is all about who are you, right? Who are you? What do you do? What's your why? Meaning, why do you do what you do? How in the world are you keeping it all together? So I am a woman, I'm a sister, I'm an auntie, I'm a pet parent, I'm a BFF, I'm a favorite cousin, I'm a colleague, I'm an associate. What do? I help women over the age of 40 specifically, yet not exclusively, get from where they are to where it is they want to be along their health and wellness journey. Why? Because I love myself so much today that it only makes sense to love my sisters where they are. How in the world do I keep this thing all together? Well, it all depends on what time of the day and month you ask, because this thing is not easy. And all my women over the age of 40, let me know if it's not easy for you either, but yet possible. My self-care modality is running and reading and running, prayer, meditation, and training. That is the only way that I can show up for my life every single day. And that is what we're here to talk to you about today. Oh, I'm so grateful for this show. I'm so grateful for this platform. And I'm so grateful for this post-COVID norm, because I get to have a conversation with one of my closest girlfriends. And let me tell you something, I'm super duper nervous. Like I'm super duper nervous as if I was maybe interviewing Oprah. Because while we believe we know people, like sometimes you got to get deep. And this girl, she loves to go deep because we both love Shanti. And when Shanti says go deep, when he says dig deep, like we go deep, deep, deep. And so I want to read you her bio because I know her, right? I know her, but I really want to get to know my friends on a cellular level. And this girl, this woman is so extraordinary. And I've told her that before, but sometimes we forget. And so I believe it is my responsibility to give my sister her flowers now, because today is not promised. All right, so her name is Tonya Jones. I've given her the nickname Too Tight Tonya Jones because that's what I do when I love my people. I give you a nickname. I did a Santa Monica Stairs meetup group. Part of the meetup thing was you come up with like a nickname. And so I was like, girl, your nickname is Too Tight Tonya Jones. And what I love about her, she just rolls with my shenanigans. She's like, okay. So Tonya Jones, AKA Too Tight Tonya Jones. And most recently, by the way, she doesn't know this until now. It's Renaissance woman, because she is the epitome of a Renaissance woman. Who's calling me? Oh no, is it the sound? What's going on? Oh no, what's going on? I don't know what's going on, but Seku's calling me. I can't answer Seku, so we got to roll with this. And so 20 years experience she has. I'm so sorry, Seku, I cannot answer. She has 20 years. Text me. So you guys give me 1 second, because apparently we have an issue. Seku is my producer, so I'm going to go to Facebook and see what's going on really quickly. I see us. So we're going to keep going. All right. Take two. Back to my girl's bio. 20 years experience in nonprofit and public sector. Tonya is driven by a strong commitment to personal and collective growth, healing, while cultivating joy and building strong and compassionate community. She's also a mentor for UCLA's intensive practice program, teaching assistant to UCLA's mindfulness and theory undergrad course. She's so smart. I always joke with her. I was like, you know, you're my smartest friend. Tonya holds a BA from Howard University, HBC, you know, MFA from Columbia. My girl's an avid reader. I told you she's smart, loves nature, taking long solo trips, hopping on and off planes and experiencing other cultures and countries. Without further ado, welcome to the Feed King Show, the one and only Too Tight Tonya Jones.
Hi, Feed King.
Hi, Too Tight Tonya Jones. How'd you like that intro?
That was excellent. I mean, I didn't know that was coming. I was like, ooh, that sounds good.
Right? Like sometimes we don't see ourselves the way that other people see us, and we get to be reminded of how extraordinary you are and how much you've accomplished and how unique you are and how different you are, right?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
no problem. I just want to I want to share with our people. I want to do something a little different that I've not done in the past, and I sure hope I do this right. I hope that I do this right, and if I don't, it's just going to go down in the books. I just want to I want to share with our people. I want to do something a little different that I just got done in the past, and sure hope I do this right. I hope that I do this right. And if I don't, it's just going to go down in the books. Right. So we're going to stop that. Stop that. No. All right. So we're going to skip that part. I was trying to. Oh my God. Okay. So you get off that screen. All right. All right. I hope that did it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
I'm waiting for it. I'm patient.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. So I want to share this because I think I hope that did it. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know.
I'm waiting for it. I'm
Thank you,
patient.
Tonya. I don't know why I can't. So this is what happens when you don't have your producer here with you. So
Okay.
oh, there's so many. Tonya, we don't know. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna do. Producer here with you. I don't know how to get off of this. I don't know, but we're live. Okay. All right. So Tonya, it says admit you. Should I admit you?
Yes, you should.
Okay.
Because
All
I'm going to
right.
join you from this different screen that is letting everybody.
Close out that other one for me. Okay, you did it. All right. Are you here? Are you here? Tonya?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I need to see you, Mama. I need to see you because we can't see you.
Y'all see in real time what happens when people be trying to do stuff. Don't think that I'm not on Zoom every day.
Every day, y'all. She works from Zoom meetings every day.
And this is the one day.
Did you say when Black people be trying to do something? Why
well, that's so general. Just do something.
You got to throw race in there. Look, we're gonna rock with 3 screens. Don't change anything, okay? I just need to see your face.
Okay.
Okay, you got it. Thank you. We
There
good?
you go. Yeah, I'm just gonna say what I'm doing and just realize that that's how things go sometimes. They don't go to plan, and we ain't gonna sweat it. Hey, y'all.
We ain't gonna sweat it. All right.
That's life. Don't be mad. We still got stuff to talk about.
We still got stuff to talk about. So I want to set this up because this speaks to our relationship. And don't worry, on the ground, you will get to see Tonya, you will get to experience Tonya. But this is how Too Tight Tonya Jones and Feed King roll. Check this out.
You ain't chicken in New York. Yo. Oh. Can't stand this. Oh. Can't stand this. Oh.
This speaks to our friendship. When we get together, we become little children. And what I love about Tonya is Tonya and I didn't have a plan to evolve together yet separately. You know how you meet people and life happens and one person is here, the other person might be here, the other person is still trying to catch up. Tonya and I have been growing together and separately since we first met. Tonya, where did we meet?
Mhm.
Or do you agree?
Yes, we first met. I remember when we first met, we were doing that show together. Yep. It was an
That play?
adaptation of Pill Hill, which was usually all male, but they tried it with the all female cast, and we were cast in the same role because they had two casts because it was running. It was a lot of shows, and
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Okay.
yeah. So see,
Do you remember where we became when a friendship was forged? Do you remember that? Because it wasn't
mm-hmm.
at the theater. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that's where we first met. But
Yeah.
then I remember, did we run into each other at Sally's Beauty or Santa Monica Boulevard? Girl.
See?
And so we've been a natural hair crew for a while, and I probably was in there trying to buy some business hair. That's what I used to call it when I used to be auditioning for stuff, my business hair, when they was like, "Oh, could you change your hair?" I'm like, "No, not permanently, but I could put on some business hair today." That's what you want to see. And that's where we met. Mhm.
I wanted to
Well,
show the people your business hair because, oh my gosh, I got to
oh,
find your
business
business.
hair.
Yeah, because I really want to find this business hair, y'all. So bear with me because
Oh
uh,
yeah, it's out there. It's out there.
I know I have the business hair and it's not working. So that's okay. So one of the reasons
Mhm.
why, I don't know if you know this, Tonya, I don't know if I share this with you, but one of many reasons why we became friends, it was very, very superficial. I wanted to be Tonya's friend because she was so pretty and I loved her natural hair. I was like, she's so pretty. And when I saw you at Sally's, I was like, oh, this is my opportunity. And I think I accosted her. Like I was on you. I was like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we were in the show and you were like, yeah, like it was like a couple days ago. And so we exchanged information and literally a friendship was forged right then and there. It was so simple. It was so simple.
It was. I feel like Wu-Tang. Can it all be so simple?
So
And
simple.
what?
Tonya, I have you on the show today because this month, August, I'm launching a series called When Blue Collars Ball Out of Control. Blue collars in the utmost respectful sense of the word, because I believe blue collars don't get enough credit. And there are so many different layers and levels to being a blue collar, right? And this really speaks to Baltimore more so. But I want to talk about home ownership because
Mhm.
we lived in LA together, and I can only speak for myself, but the thought of owning when I lived in LA, it was never it was never a thought. I never thought, I want to
Uh-huh.
buy something or I'll own something. And so when you told me, and because you told me years ago that you wanted to buy, and I was just like, oh wow, that was it. And so when she told me that she bought, I was like, yes. And in California, my whole level of respect and admiration grew. And so I started going down the rabbit hole with home ownership. And what I learned was the median age of a Black home buyer is 48 years old.
Mm.
Yeah. And so I am
Wow.
exactly where I'm supposed to be. Let me repeat that. The median age of a Black home buyer is 48 years old. So you
Yeah.
ought to know that you're right on time, you're not too old, and you're not running out of time. So Tonya, tell us about what it's like to be a first-time home buyer and how you did it.
Yeah. Actually, when I'm thinking about that statistic, I am now that I'm like really thinking about it, like people in my life and of different, races, ethnicities, and things like that. And who actually own homes, I was like, oh yeah, actually, let me think about that. That's not that surprising.
Yeah.
When comparing. Um, but yeah, it's the journey, so yeah, it's like being like actually in the city of Los Angeles, especially the past couple of years. That honestly, as a single person and single income,
Mm,
um, and yeah, that didn't feel that feasible. Like being like buying something in the city. Um, so yeah, but I bought a place out near Joshua Tree. It's about 10 minutes from downtown Joshua Tree out in the desert. Um, and I
that sounds
also still have a place in LA that I rent and I kind of go back and forth. But the thing was, I'd been coming out here for well over a decade. And it was something like way back when I was actually on a retreat and I was like thinking like, oh, it would be cool to have a place out here.
yeah.
Um, long ago. And then in the past few years, I would say few years, like more like, yeah, 2 to 3 years. So a couple to few years, 2 to 3 years. That thought started coming up for me again.
So it
And
starts with a thought. Would you say that home ownership initially starts with a thought or a desire?
oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then, I know there was like a lot of people like going out in different places and more rural places or things like that during the pandemic. Which for me, this wasn't like a pandemic motivated by like I need space. Like it was a place that I'd been coming to and loving and knowing for many years. And
Yeah.
then, it was during that time too, it was like crazy out here, just trying to buy stuff. And I had a lot of personal things going on in my life. So my timeline got got moved. And, there was a time I was like, oh, it's too late. I missed the boat. Like some of the places that maybe I could have afforded then, now I can, and all those
Mm,
things that I just was like, you know what, this is the timeline. This is how it's happening, and kind of
yeah.
let that go. It's like, you can't do rewind. So yeah, so when I got my ducks in a row, um, you know, for me, one thing is that I don't, besides my student loans, which hopefully will be gone pretty soon. I'll be done with those pretty soon within the next year and a half. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but other than that, one thing is like I don't carry any other debt. And even in like using any of my credit cards, things like that. I use them for rewards or cashback situations, but I pay them off completely at the end of the month. Um,
Can I pause you there because you said something
mhm.
really interesting. We live in a society where the majority of Americans are in debt, right? And so you said that you were not in debt. Can you very quickly tell us how that happened for you? How did you were you ever in debt?
Yeah, so I would say, yeah, for sure, and
Mhm.
definitely like in my, I say earlier 30s. So a lot of the debt that I do have, again, like. And for me, like, I was okay with that. Like, I'm okay with debt for education, though it's insane the debt that we have for education. That's a
Right.
whole nother
That's a whole other
speaking
show.
show. Let me get into that. But it is what it is. It was like that's the only path for you if you want to have this educational experience.
Mm.
So yeah, so that was always there. And I just looked at that like a utility bill, basically. Like you got that bill that comes every month, like the electricity bill, except it's a higher one. But and then I would say a lot of the debt that I accumulated though was during that time, and particularly doing graduate school, when I was paying for that, and also cost of living and all that stuff, like all the things.
You were living in
And
New
then,
York in graduate
mhm,
school, so that's a whole higher echelon of rent than even LA.
yes. Yeah, yeah. So it was like school. So even though I worked full time through graduate school, but
Mm.
that was paying for me to live, not really paying for tuition. And I got some grants and stuff, but there's still expenses to that. So there's that part. But a lot of the debt that I accumulated was more in my around that time and kind of going into my early 30s because I just had so much to pay for during that time. So I was happy that I had like good credit because then I could, use that and leverage it. But
You got good
you still got to
credit?
pay for that. You still got to pay for that. Like,
Girl, did you say good
so
credit?
I would have been able to probably get through grad school if I have good credit because, like I said, all that I was doing still wasn't enough for everything,
Mm,
for all the
okay.
things in my life. But I came out there not only with all those student loans, but also all of the debt. But I would say like and then later on a few years ago, I was starting to see something like accumulating again. I was like, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, I just really made it a mission that was like, this is the time frame and this is the how you're budgeting and you're gonna pay this off. And it wasn't and it wasn't delinquent or anything. It just was like, I don't want this
Not hanging
extra
on you.
debt. Yeah, I was like, yeah. And so once I did that a few years ago, for me, like it was definitely like a strong value that I was holding of like whatever charge or whatever that month, like you are paying it off. And like I said, I use the cars because one of my cars, I make 5% back or 10% back, 2% back. By the end of the year, I got like anywhere from an extra $600 to $1,000 of free money just to play with. And I usually spend that on something nice for myself, or activity or towards my travel. So yeah, so that thing for me, it's really freeing. Like, like like, yeah, you don't have like this and that to pay for. It's like every month there's a clean slate. I know what my bills are. They're my regular expenses. And that's really important too when you're starting to think about like your home ownership and what can you really afford.
Mhm.
Because oftentimes, people just like plug in the numbers into the calculator online and they'll tell you some number, but they don't know all your different circumstances. And then you sit up there thinking like, oh, I'm going to get this whatever $100,000 house. And then, really you can't really afford it. Like if you're looking at all your other bills and your debt and your lifestyle, whether your
And you traveled a
lifestyle.
lot. And,
Hmm.
and you were traveling when you closed
Yeah.
on this house. And then you
Yes, I was.
after. I'm not like I'm telling all your business. And then she traveled for about a month after she bought the house. So I want to fast forward just because we only have 5 minutes and there's so much to uncover.
That's a lot.
There's going to be a part two because we must have Too Tight Tonya Jones, Miss Renaissance Woman, back on the show to really marry the home ownership and traveling and lifestyle and freedom. But I want you to share with us, Tonya, how it's possible for a woman over 40, that might not be you, but that's my audience.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, for me. So how is it possible for me, a woman over 40, single, that means only one income, to
Mm-hmm.
purchase a home, who might or might not have debt? Like, because you don't have debt, but many people do have debt. What are the top 3 suggestions would you impart? We just want 3 that will help
Mm-hmm.
kind of light the fire and maybe give some hope to those who are like, I don't, yeah,
Yeah.
we need hope.
Okay. Yes, there are a couple of things. One is get your finances in order. Like even, if you have debt, and all debt isn't bad or anything, but if you have it, like if you're not on top of it, get your plan in action, really crunch your numbers, like see what your budget is, check your credit, do all those things, like whatever you need to do to clean up your financial house. I would say that's one of the first things.
Your financial
Um,
house. Does that include, Tonya, making more money, figuring out how to make more money or how to spend less, how to save more, how to invest? Is that
I'm gonna get to that part.
okay?
And
Okay.
it can, I mean, it can mean making more money, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. You could
Mm,
also look at how you're allocating what you have. Because oftentimes you'll find you make some adjustments or do some cutbacks, or you like looking, when I say getting your financial house in order, you're doing a full audit of everything that's going on. What's coming in, what's coming out. Do I need to make more money? Is it ever gonna, I would say ever, but anytime soon, is it really feasible for me to buy in this market? Because that's another thing too. You might be like, yeah, I can make an extra whatever, but that still might not be feasible. So when I say all that, I'm like, you're doing a full evaluation of everything.
would you
Another, oh, go ahead.
would you suggest soliciting help with that? Because that can be really overwhelming and intimidating, you
I
know?
think
For
it
you.
depends on the person. For me, that's something that, that for me is like, I like doing that stuff. I find it interesting, like, because it's like that research element, kind of like, okay, what's going on here, what's going on there. And for me, I personally like to know the nuts and bolts of my own finances. Like,
Oh,
even like sometimes people are in relationships, they're like, oh, he does the thing or she does the thing, and I don't know, they just pay whatever. I'm like, no. And it's not a trust thing. I like, from an educational standpoint, and particularly as women and going into middle age or in middle age, like, I think it's really important to understand your own finances. So even if you get assistance, I'm like, because you don't, like, sit right next to that person and figure it out. Like, you need to know these things for yourself. And you never know, even if you're in partnership, anything could happen at any time. And you don't want to be the person that's like, I don't even know if we got the bank account. I don't even know where it is. Like, you know what? Like,
yeah.
so I think it's just, beneficial, whether you get assistance or not to just do a handoff, be involved in that. Like,
And your
I
last
was
one.
saying, yeah. Another thing too is like assessing the market, seeing what's out there, what's in your range. You also, before you go looking, like, talk to a couple of different lenders, and, like, not just online, fill out that application, like, get on the phone and talk to them and see who you vibe with. And you
Mm,
want the ones that's going to keep it real with you. You don't want the ones that's going to be like, I'll give you an extra $100,000 when they know you can't afford that. Like, you want the people that's going to be like really talking to you because they care about you and your financial health, not just trying to like give you as much as technically you can get, even though deep down like that payment ain't going to work for you.
with that being said, this may sound very elementary, but break down very quickly what a lender is and what a lender does. Because not
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. So yeah, before you start looking, you definitely want to, like I said, get your finances in order, pre-qualify. Don't wait. Like, some people wait until later, like, I found a place and this and that. But for a lot of sellers, like, if you don't have that like locked in place, they're not going to take you as seriously, or they're kind of like, they don't know, like, can you actually afford this? So it really helps to do all that upfront before you start looking. And that's the lender. So when you have the different lenders, so you have the big banks, but you might find, like, I have a smaller like mortgage lender. She's freaking fantastic, but she only works in this area, so sorry, y'all. But amazing. And so anyway, yeah, so it might be a mortgage company that's a smaller company, it might be a bigger bank.
Okay.
But also shop around and see who you vibe with, and with interest rates too, before you start like
Looking
going
right.
out and looking and like putting offers and stuff.
Okay. A lender is then someone that's the money person. That's the one who finds the money for you, right?
That's going to finance
Because you
your purchase. That's going to be the person holding your mortgage,
okay.
or the company.
That's good because it took me a while to understand the difference between a lender and a broker. I was like, okay, I might have. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are now at 12:01. I want you to very quickly, like less than 60 seconds, share with us all the places that you've traveled, and then that's where we will pick it up. Hopefully, God willing, yeah, girl, 60 seconds. Let us know, where have you been? Where have you been? And then we'll pick up part 2 with the last place you went. And I want to dive deep, as Sean T would say, deep in the how, not the how, because I believe I know that the how is the universe's responsibility. Like God works it out for you. You get to have a vision, a plan, and then stay in action towards that. You also have to have a state. You also get to believe that it's possible, right? And I've traveled with you, which has been so amazing locally and internationally. And I look forward to more of that, but really quickly, because I've been pumping up, like she's been everywhere. So you have 60 seconds to share with us, just rapid fire. Where you been, girl?
Woo. Okay. You should have
Yep.
told me I need a list. Rapid fire. Might not. Okay, give me a minute. Let's see. Mexico is my stopping ground, so all through there. I'm a repeat offender for a lot of places, actually. Let's see. Mexico, Peru, Colombia, Guatemala, Switzerland, France, Germany, UK, Poland, Czech Republic. Let's see, there's more, Japan, Belgium, Netherlands, South Africa, Canada. I love Vancouver. Let's see, there are more places. Is my 60 seconds up?
Yeah, it's been up. That was 15. And also Victoria, Canada, because we did Victoria, Canada together, and Alaska. That doesn't constitute country though.
Yeah, Toronto. So a lot of countries I've been through the entire country. So that'll be part 2.
And 48 states. You traveled 48 states in your own country, the United States of these Americas. Yes?
Yes. I have North and South Dakota. I'm saving it for my Badlands camping trip.
This is so exciting. So fam, I want you to get to know Tonya, because she helps to show us what is possible for all of us, regardless of if you're in debt or not, because that can be just a temporary state, debt.
Absolutely.
Right? Whatever your age is, whatever your sex is, whatever your ethnicity is, whatever your belief, whatever your belief is, because that's a mindset and that can shift. You can decide, you can make a decision right now today to change your belief around what is possible for you, to change your belief around what is possible for you. This is my friend. She inspires me. She empowers me. I think you're so dope. I think you dope, because if I didn't think you were dope, you wouldn't be my friend. And like, seriously, so I don't want to go on and on because we've run out of time, kind of, sort of. Thank you so much for saying yes. She said yes last minute, because I was doing this series and I was like, I don't want to put it off. And I want to highlight the face of first-time homeowners, especially for those women especially over the age of 40, because if you're anything like me, just last year, I said to myself, girl, you too old. I said that because I was like, well, I don't want to be paying a mortgage up until I die. Well, do you want to rent until you die? Do you want to live a legacy? Do you want to accrue equity? Like all these things that I'm just now learning about home ownership. And one of the things that I realized is part of being wealthy is having people in your social circle who can educate and inform and empower and support you. And I have a big database of friends who are that. And Tonya, Tonya Jones, you are definitely the top of that, the top 5. Girl, you the top 5. I love you. I adore you. I'm proud of you. And I look forward to our trip in 2024. And this is the thing, I trust her so much. I let her pretty much do all of it. And I send her money on Venmo. I'm like, girl, look, I'm gonna need you to put this money aside. And I love that we did that for the DR. And then I didn't even need the money because I manifest so much. It was so beautiful. And so as 2024, I am of the expectation and the belief that what I am manifesting is going to blow my own mind. So I'm not going to need to Venmo you any money to hold for me.
Yeah.
I know that I won't, but I know that if I did, that you'll be there for me. And I trust that, we never have any issues with that. So this is the King Show. It goes down every Friday, God willing, from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon, the end of the month. August 28th, the Fee King Show will be moving to Indie Soup Media Network. We will be streaming live on 7 platforms at the same time, one of those being Roku TV. Yeah. I'm super excited and grateful, and I'm ready. She ready. I am so ready. If you love these earrings that are dripping from my ears, check out my girl, Ife. You know Ife from the
I
Goddess
know about those
Academy.
earrings too.
You know, and I'm loving what you're dripping too. Yes.
Thank
You
you.
can check out Ife. She's running promotion sales, all kind of incredible things on her website. Her Glow Candy Shop. Get your own glow on this summer. HerGlowCandyShop.com. Lastly, Fee King's got her crop top hoodies. I am fit fine after 4 or over 40. Also, my The Calvary Ain't Coming t-shirts on my website, www.fee-king, that's fee-king.com. Look for Fee King to legally change her name. By the way, I'm legally changing my name to Fee this year before the end of the year. Too tight. Yeah, girl. I'm doing it. Lastly, this month, I am intending on becoming a best-selling author. I'm intending to become a best-selling author with your help, because with that, I will be able to reach more women over the age of 40, specifically in helping them get from where they are to where it is they want to be. I am not able to get there alone, just like none of us are able to get where we are going and where we are alone. So I'm going to be reaching out to all of you, because it is all possible. The name of my next book that's going to drop in about 2 weeks is Her Story. Her Story, how to get from where you are to where it is you want to be. Too tight, you know, I'm going to be reaching out to you as one of my core teams. I love you. We are so over, but it's all good. So stay tuned, God willing, next week. Too Tight Tonya Jones will come back for part 2. We're going to delve into the travel. We're going to delve into the travel, because you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be rich to travel.
No,
But
you
because
don't.
of traveling, you enrich your life condition.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do. And I'll just let you know too, like just during grad school, even with the debt, you can still figure that out, because I did, because it was a high priority for me. So we could talk about that too.
I look forward to it.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Too Tight Tonya Jones. I will talk to you offline.